My name's Angelo and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to walk through some of my favorite picks and plays for UFC 272. If you don't know what Monkey Knife Fight is, I'll walk you through. I'll teach you. It's a ton of fun. It's super easy. It is daily fantasy prop game. So it's an app on your phone. It is a website. You come in here, you look at strike lines, you say more or less, and if you're right, you make a bunch of money. It is that simple. Check it out now at wewantpicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit up to $100. Go in there, give them 50, give them 20. They'll match it. Use the free match money, play some of these lines, and hopefully you can get rich. We're going to do two things very quickly. The first thing I'm going to do is let's just look at the line for the main event. We've got Colby Covington versus George Masvidal. Colby Covington's line is at 129 strikes. George Masvidal is at 68.5 strikes. All I need to do is say more or less, and if I hit it, I'll make some money. And this is interesting because I do think this goes 5 rounds. I think Colby wrestles George, holds George down, takes a lot of George's ability to get things done away. I think this looks very similar to when Kamaru Usman fought George Masvidal the first time. So I honestly think it still might be a more though, because Colby Covington, when he fought Rafael Dos Anjos, he got well over 100 strikes. When he fought Robbie Lawler, he got 179. I do think this is busy. I think George will stuff a few of the takedowns or scramble back to his feet because that's where he needs to be. So I do think he should be able to get between that 100 with Rafael Dos Anjos and the 180 with Usman. I think he'll be in between that, which should get him over the 129. And George 68, listen, it's a 5-round fight, and I think it goes the distance. So 15 strikes per round, and he blows past the 68. So I do think more is probably the play. The Colby line is the one that worries me, but I do think more is the play. I'm not logged in, but you just click more. You want to throw $10 at it and 10 to win at 25. It's that simple. You're 2.5 times your money. But let's go back. What I like to do, obviously, go through the fights, see if there's a line that you like. I obviously like the more there. We'll look at the feature fight. We got Bryce Mitchell versus Edson Barboza. Bryce Mitchell's at 63. Edson Barboza's at 48. I like the less, and I'm very confident in that. Bryce Mitchell is a very low volume guy. He's a nonstop, constant wrestler. But when he's on the ground, he's looking for submissions and control. He's not really busy with his hands. And Edson Barboza is a phenomenal striker, but I do think he's taken down. So I either think Edson Barboza stops Bryce Mitchell with the striking, or Bryce Mitchell takes down Edson, controls him, potentially submits him from there. Either way, I think this is a less situation, and I'm pretty confident in that. So if you like that line as well, same thing. Click less, do your buy-in, and go from there. What I like to do is I like to throw like $10 at these. Let's say I'm playing with $100, $150. I'll do $10 on a bunch of different plays. This way, if one misses but one hits, I'm still up money, right? If one hits and one misses, I'm in $20 and my payout's 25. So I'm still up $5 even though I missed one. So let's come back in here though, because slates are really where you can have a ton of fun. Slates do a couple different things. The first thing we have here is Knockout Kings. And what Knockout Kings does is it allows you to pick any three fighters on the entire card that you think will win by KO or TKO. And let's come in here, and then once we grab these, we'll decide how much money we're willing to risk. But any 3 that can win by KO or TKO. Let's start at the bottom. Tagir Ulanbekov. Heavy grappling. Could potentially happen. Kennedy Nzechukwu. He's knocked out a bunch of people in the past. Nick Nigamoreno. He has all finishes. He has one single decision on his entire record. He actually should be in the mix for sure. Bryce Mitchell, if he wins by stoppage, it'll be a submission. Marina Rodriguez has stoppage potential. Jalen Turner certainly has stoppage potential. Edson Barboza does. Let's do Greg Hardy because he absolutely can. I think he loses that fight, but he absolutely can. And, man, Dustin Jacoby. And let's do Dustin Jacoby. One of these 3. So these are my 3. You can get any 3 fighters on the entire card. These are the 3 that I think are most likely to get a knockout. I mean, Jalen Turner's on that list too, but we can only pick 3. Now all I need to do is say, well, how much money am I trying to make here? Because if just one of them wins by knockout, then I could 1.25 times my money, which means I will get a 5% net return. I normally do that, and it is literally free money. I've been doing this for a very long time, literally since the day they released Knockout Kings, and there have only been 2 times in all of those weeks where I didn't hit at least one knockout. Only 2 times. And one of those times was Jacob's fault because I followed his picks instead of mine. So 1 time with my own picks did I not hit. So I personally would rather get basically the guaranteed 25% return here than chase 2.5. 6 is absurd. If you think you can get 3 fighters that will win by knockout, do not do it here. Go place that with a sports book because you'll get stupid odds if you parlay 3 knockouts together. Stupid odds. It'll be way more than 6 times. So 2.5 times, you want to chase 2 knockouts. There are cards where that makes sense, where you can double up one fight where you're positive and then there's a giant mismatch otherwise. So there are cards where that makes sense. This one I don't think so because there's so many heavy grapplers here. You just don't know. But I do think between these 3, one of them will win by KO or TKO. So I'm going to lock that in when I come back here. Now let's look at a few of the other slates. I personally absolutely love rapid fires. What rapid fires do is they take 2 fighters in completely different fights and they put them together, and you just have to say between those 2, who is going to land more strikes. So between Colby Covington and Yan Xiaonan, but Yan is getting 32, who do I think is going to land more? And that's interesting because, I'm going to go with Kobe, though, because I get it. Jan's getting 32 strikes, but Kobe has 2 extra rounds to work with, and Jan's fight could potentially end. Then we got Marina Rodriguez and Marina Moroz. I'm going to go with Rodriguez because Rodriguez, I think she's in a longer, busier fight where Marina Moroz is fighting Agapova. There may be some grappling in the mix there. I'm going to go with Rodriguez here. So I think these 2 will land more strikes. And what's great here is the total doesn't matter. Meaning, I don't need Marina to get more than 10. I just need her to get more than Moroz. That's all I need. Same with Kobe. I just need Kobe to get more than Yan. So if Jan's fight ends in 5 seconds, great. Doesn't matter. All good with me. So I like that. We also have rapid fire with fantasy points. So here's the scoring system. We have significant strikes, 0.6 points, knockdowns, 12 points, takedowns, 6 points, takedowns defended, 3, submission attempts, 5, and then there's all sorts of round stoppage bonuses. So who do I think is going to score more fantasy points? Umar Nurmagomedov or Kobe, and Umar's going to get 23 points. Well, let's take a look again because I think this comes down to takedowns. And takedowns are worth 6 points. 6, 12, 18, 24. 4 takedowns is the difference in these points. Is Kobe going to get 4 more takedowns than Umar? Probably not. Can Umar win by stoppage? Potentially, but I don't think he will. Kobe will probably score higher than Umar. He's got 5 rounds to work with, and he should be very busy. And fantasy points, we got Kevin Holland versus Devonta Smith. This is a tricky one because you got to chase the stoppage here. There'll be some strikes. Wrestling won't really be a factor. You got to chase the stoppage. And probably Kevin Holland is more likely to get a stoppage over Alex Oliveira than Devonta Smith is over Ludovic Klein. Because Ludovic could potentially win that fight where I don't see Alex Oliveira beating Kevin Holland. So it's probably Kobe and Kevin Holland. And the last thing we'll look at here that I really do like are 3 for 3s. You can 4 times your money, even 5 times your money if it's later in the week. 3 for 3s. We got Kobe, Yan, and Marina. Man, I don't love that lineup. So what I'm going to do here, so basically the way it works is you have 2 different options. I didn't like that one. So now we have Marina, Dustin, and Devonta. This one's a little more favorable. So Marina Moroz, probably more than 84. I think that's a pretty busy fight, honestly, but that is a tricky number. Dustin Jacoby, 83. I think less. I think there's a stoppage in that fight. And then Devonta Smith, 76. I think that's less as well. So you pick your mores and lesses, you string them together, and you can 4 times your money. And you guys get the gist. It's a ton of fun. It's super easy. Come in here, look at the strike lines, go from there. Frankly, I know a lot of people that do really well only doing Knockout Kings. They load this up with money. They do a bunch of different Knockout Kings. They don't even mess with the strike lines. So you have options. Make something happen. It's a ton of fun. Super easy. WeWantPicks.com/MKF. Sign up, use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit up to $100. Take the free money. Use the free deposit match money. Play the lines, and if you lose, who cares? It wasn't your money. And if you win, awesome. You now have even more money now. Tons of fun. Super easy. WeWantPicks.com/MKS.